Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, joined by co-host Jeff.
Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well here in the Draft House. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good for it being video game month and us watching video game movies, all things considered.
Trash. We should rename this month to Trash Month.
Well, that remains to be seen. Maybe there's something good.
Maybe there's a redeeming single film this month that can be a bright spot.
Maybe it's this week.
Maybe it is. What did we watch this week?
So this week we watched Pokémon Detective Pikachu from 2019, starring Justice Smith, Ryan Reynolds, Catherine Newton, and Bill Nighy, as well as Ken Watanabe makes a brief appearance. And Karan Soni, who I believe was in the Deadpool films. Right?
Oh, yeah. He was
the cab
taxi
driver?
Yeah, the taxi driver.
Anyway, but yeah, that's what we watched this week. This is my third go-round. I've seen this now 3 times. How about you?
This is, I think, my second.
Okay.
I saw this in the theaters when it came out.
Oh, really?
With my kid, and I remember really enjoying it. I thought like it captured.
Is your
a
daughter
lot.
a Pokemon fan?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like casual, right?
Okay.
But like in 2019, she was, how old is she now? She was like 10. So it was kind of like right up, her alley of pop culture and, just, and Pokemon is a mainstay in pop culture. So it's not like, it's not a fad, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon hasn't come and gone and like made a resurgence. It's been a mainstay.
Pretty steady.
Yeah. So what about you? You said it's the third time, so did you see it in theater?
So I've never watched it in the theater, but when it came out on streaming, I watched it and thought, nah, that was fine,
Yeah.
fine to good. And then I watched it with my son because he hadn't seen it, and he was kind of about saying, he's like, yeah, that's fine. But he's never come back and been like, let's watch it again like he has with the Mario Brothers movie, But then my third time I watched it this week. And I got to say, the movie's grown on me. Like, with each viewing, I kind of like it a little more.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I remember, I saw it in the theater in 2019, and I liked it. And then this go around, I mean, because I didn't watch it with that critical lens that we tend to watch things with for this podcast, but watching it now and realizing the amount of heart that is in this film, and how well just it kind of blends like. I haven't played all the Pokemon games, the most recent, newer Pokemon
You honestly do. Now, specifically, there is a Pokemon game series called Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I knew that.
That is a more direct descendant, I guess, of those than this.
Right. But like, if I was to create a Pokemon game, open world, this and that, it would almost look like what we watched. Just kind of a blend of people and Pokemon living kind of just, in concert with each other. And it's just like this movie captured kind of where my brain thought Pokemon should be, how it should be portrayed. And like, I really enjoyed that we only got like really one quasi battle scene. And I didn't really pick up on that when I watched it the first time, the whole Charizard, underground fight ring or whatever. I really like that they didn't make that a thing, in this movie. It was really an intimate story that had big ramifications, and then the plot, the plot's the plot. Very, very linear, not very deep, surface level ABC
Right, and the
type
whole thing,
stuff.
he's like the only guy who doesn't have a Pokemon.
Right.
And he's resistant to having it. And, these are detectives, so essentially they become partners, and it's the whole I don't work with a partner thing. So,
Right.
yeah, all that's very formulaic. It's just that it's wrapped in a Pokemon package, and it's a Pokemon package that looks fantastic. Like, all of the Pokemon look great. The only one that I was like kind of iffy on was Charizard, because he just looked like a dragon. And yeah,
Right.
Charizard's a dragon, but the other characters had the same facial features that, the Pokemon in the games have. They're just more fleshed out, fuzzy.
Right.
Like they could put some scales on Charizard and that'd be fine. But he didn't quite look like Charizard to me, other than the fire tail. But that would be my only. Well, Gengar looks kind of weird, but
And there's a ton of
but the rest of them, like the Squirtles and the Bulbasaurs and
Yeah.
the Charmanders and the Magikarp looks awesome. Gyarados looks right out of the games. Trying to think of the other ones that I saw that I like, but like they were just part of the pleasure of this movie. The Greninjas looked great. Mewtwo looked awesome. But part of the joy of the movie is when you're watching it being like, oh shit, there's a Snorlax. Oh,
Right.
there's a, and the little kid in you wakes up a little bit and you kind
Yeah.
of point, oh, they look.
Yeah, no, and that's so that one of the charms of the movie is at every turn, you can see a different Pokemon that you didn't expect.
Right.
And like those are little not Easter eggs, but because there's just so many Pokemon. But like something like that to where this movie allows them to throw in pretty much every type of Pokemon, every different type that you can think of, and it's not out of place. It's not like they just did it for fan service or anything like that. And I mean, the Charizard could kind of be fan servicey, I guess.
But you can't not have Charizard in your Pokemon movie.
Sure, right.
Arguably the second most popular Pokemon.
Right. So no, and that's the thing with this movie is that nothing felt fan servicey. Nothing felt forced. I didn't feel like Mewtwo as kind of the big, not big bad, but the anti-hero-esque.
He's sort of the red herring.
Sure.
Is what
Right,
it
right,
is,
right.
yeah.
But I didn't think like any of that was forced. I'm glad they didn't have Mew show up.
I wanted Mew. I like Mew.
No, I mean the most powerful Pokemon.
I love the Mewtwo is, I think. I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
don't
wrong.
know.
I'm into Pokemon, but I don't know. Mostly I get my information from my son, who would provide me with the details of who's the most powerful. But I
Right.
did like the Mr. Mime scene a lot. I thought that was probably my favorite scene in the movie. Where he has to
Yeah.
play along with the miming and he
Yeah.
sets him on fire and shit. Really funny.
No, it's kind of dark.
It is dark. And Pikachu even says that. I
Right.
like it,
No, okay. So, what did you think of Ryan Reynolds as the voice of Pikachu here?
I mean, he's Ryan Reynoldsing it up, right?
Right.
And I had just come off of seeing Deadpool and Wolverine.
Sure.
I like Ryan Reynolds a lot. He seems like one of the good guys. Hopefully he hasn't done stuff in the dark that, will get him canceled or whatever. But he's very likable, and I think he does a good job in this movie, especially like when it comes to the serious notes. I think he's really good. But I think the thing that really seals the deal is the animation on Pikachu is so good. Like you just want to cuddle him. That's the thing. Like as good as Ryan Reynolds is, the animation is a huge part of the character. It just looks wonderful.
Yeah, I'm there with you. At different times in this viewing, I thought they probably didn't need Ryan Reynolds in this film. And it reminded me of the guy who voices Sonic in the most
Ben
recent.
Schwartz.
Yeah, like people don't know who really Ben Schwartz is unless you're a fan of actual Ben Schwartz. And
Well, Parks and Recreation was his big thing.
Sure, but like he's not Ryan Reynolds.
Right. He's not a household name, right?
Correct.
He doesn't. I mean, he does headline movies, Sonic, but that's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, his face. Like, if you tell me, hey, what does Ben Schwartz look like? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
I can tell you.
But like,
I'm a fan though, so like you
right.
said.
And so, but like in the Sonic films, Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic, man, he does. I mean, he lends so much into that character that like I can hear Sonic's voice as I'm talking about it right now, you know. And so like I don't know if Ryan Reynolds is necessarily needed here. I mean, they probably, I don't even know, was it Paramount that produces? I don't know. But
Probably,
I mean,
I would think Disney, but I don't know.
it's not a Disney film.
Yeah.
But they probably needed some type of name recognition other than Justice Smith, because I mean, Justice Smith is not
Warner Brothers.
Oh, is it a Warner Brothers film?
Yeah.
So, you know, they probably
I think
needed.
Justice Smith was a good casting. He's
sure, yeah.
Teenagey looking. I mean, he's clearly in his 20s, but close enough. You know,
This is
like
now
you
our
still get
second
the youthfulness out of him.
This is our second Justice Smith film.
Yes, the first being Voyeurs, which you
Voyeurs.
should go back and watch immediately for many two reasons.
Right. But no, I do think Justice Smith is fine here. I think Catherine Newton's fine. Their dynamic is a little like, she reminded me of what's her face, Misty from the animated, because of the Psyduck, you know, that's her Pokemon. And I don't know if
okay, I never really watched the anime.
Yeah, I mean, Misty's in the games too, I think.
Oh, well. Listen, I've played a handful of them. I haven't played a ton. I'm actually into the card game,
Sure.
but, you know.
Well, I mean, like, so, I mean, I was too when I was 10, 11, 12. But the original 50 or however many were Pokemon.
150, I think.
Oh, it was 100? Anyway.
It was 100 and some. 120?
I don't know.
People who know Pokemon are shitting themselves right now.
Right. They've already canceled us.
Yes.
But no, I mean, it reminded me of like Catherine Newton's character reminded me of Misty with the Psyduck. I did like the Psyduck dynamic.
Oh yeah,
of it just being like oh, I'm gonna fucking shit myself, and then he like has this like migraine ass headache, and it was a good moment for that Pokemon and as a escape mechanism for the group. I don't know. I like the dynamic. I do like Justice Smith's dynamic with Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu. I do think that they do have a lot of heartfelt moments of dialogue that pay dividends. Like there's just a lot of, and Justice Smith, he's a good actor. He shows emotion well. He portrays emotion in the dialogue well, and so like there's a lot of it that just like I think one of the scenes like he's crying while talking to the Pikachu, and like Pikachu's just like, that sucks, bro, I'm sorry. And it's like, and then like it pays dividends on the back end because of the reveal at the end. But I do like their dynamic, and it's I never once thought he's talking to a non-real character right now, or something like that. Like I don't know who they got to do motion capture, but it wasn't Ryan
I don't know.
Reynolds.
The animation across the board is wonderful. Like they nailed probably the most important part is the Pokemon and making them look realistic, but not uncanny valley.
Right.
They look amazing, and I think that I would like to see them make another. It doesn't need to be Detective Pikachu. I don't need more adventures of Justice Smith, to be honest. But another adventure could be fun in this world as long as they have the same caliber and quality of animation.
Sure.
I'd be there in a second. I wouldn't mind seeing something maybe a little closer to the anime, a little more cartoony in the characters. Have them played by real actors. But
I'm
we've
surprised
never
we
seen
didn't.
a live action Ash. That I can remember.
I kind of
And
got
you-
Ash vibes from the tournament. There was a mention of like some Pokemon tournament in this movie.
Yeah.
And like it was a guy wearing like a jacket with a hat. And honestly, I got like, hey, that's an Easter egg for Ash. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I agree with like there was no Team Rocket mentioned here.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Have like, Jack Black. I always default to Jack Black, but some comedians playing Team Rocket,
Yeah, yeah.
and make a funny movie for kids that's also written with enough subtle humor so the adults have a good time as well. I think there's still I feel like as long as it's been around, I think the cinematic world of Pokemon is still largely left untapped.
I agree. You talk about comedians to play Team Rocket. I think Kristen Wiig would be a good
Oh yes! Oh my gosh! Yeah.
female whatever her name is.
I don't know the characters, right? There's Team Rocket, and then each game has its own Team Evil,
Right.
and so they're all interchangeable at that point. But yeah, like definitely, Kristen Wiig makes a lot of sense.
Kristen Wiig and like Dax Shepard. I don't know.
I don't hate it.
Just as a duo of dumb.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe like a Galifianakis.
Okay, yeah. No, like Jack Black, Galifianakis. Who
Yeah.
There's a lot of combinations that you go with. But what did you think of Bill Nighy here? I forgot he was in this, and when he showed up, I was like, damn, that's pretty powerful. Like that's pretty big star power for this movie.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I don't know that this is his best work.
No,
I mean, it's obviously not, but I personally think his best work is Love Actually. But
Yeah, he has a whole library of best work that we could go
yeah,
through.
he's really wonderful. Like in anything he's in, he is good. I mean, and it's always good to see him. But I think the character doesn't get a lot of screen time, so there's not a lot of range for him to really deliver anything on. I thought his son was actually kind of the more interesting character at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Bill Nye, but I don't like the script around that character.
I
don't know.
I agree. I don't think Bill Nye was really used to its full potential.
I say
here.
you recast it with Willem Dafoe. I think it works better with Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe has, I think, more range.
Well, and he's got that face, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
You can imagine him
he would have
voicing
hammed it
an
up
evil
too.
Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. That's what I want, though, like, out of these movies is push it. Like, I love Bill Nye, and he knows how to ham it up, right? But I don't
Right.
think the director wanted that, maybe. And I think this is a movie where you can go there and have a truly over-the-top evil villain, like, really own it. And I feel like he missed the opportunity. I feel like the script let him down, too, because he didn't get to be evil till the end of the movie. But I mean, I just feel like it is a little bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, and I just for whatever reason, Bill Nye as the villain here is probably not needed. Like I think Ken
Watanabe.
Watanabe, yeah. I think he's probably a better villain than Bill Nye. I just I don't necessarily understand the reasons for the casting of Bill Nye and Ryan Reynolds in the roles that they have. And maybe the plan behind like Warner Brothers or whoever is in charge of green lighting projects, maybe Ryan Reynolds was the setup for another movie. Where we actually get to see Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Bill Nye he was just kind of there. He was meh. And I didn't need it. Like, I mean, you could have just made Mewtwo the sole villain.
Yeah, I think there could. I'm fine with there being the evil villain putting his consciousness into a Pokemon. I think that works. And I think it makes sense for the plot to have, what we find out to be is Justice Smith's dad is in this Pikachu and all that. I'm fine with that. I just felt like it was more of a missed opportunity for someone to really ham it up, right?
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily want them to take it out, but actually just push it further and really go for it.
So were you, I guess, more disappointed that this was as maybe serious as it was?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are parts of the serious tone that work, because it does make it feel like it is in this real world, and that's kind of what we want, because we do have a cartoony Pokemon world to go to if you want to.
Right.
So I get it. It is something different. We haven't, the underground fighting of Pokemon makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I just think that, and that scene is actually kind of a good point, because that scene is hammed up, right? The guy who's up, they got I don't know those Pokemon with the speakers for ears, but you got those and everybody's tattooed and there's neon and it looks like a Joel Schumacher Batman movie.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. And I felt like that is more the tone I want. Like, if you're going to go dark, do it in a weird, fun way. And I think they did there. So I kind of want more of that, I guess.
Yeah. And for the movie, that scene served its purpose. It gave you kind of a glimpse into this world and how people are exploiting, Pokemon and all this. And so, like, I didn't mind it. I thought maybe that scene was a little too fleeting. Like it was like a glimpse, but then that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't think we spent enough time in that realm, but
I agree.
I get it. Rob Letterman here just wants to show us, hey, this part of the world exists, but we're not going to spend any time here. We're moving on.
Well, and I think too, they're like, we got to at least have one Pokemon battle.
Correct. Right. But it wasn't even really a battle. We just got like, I think one of the guys, when they first get in there, they're like, oh shit, there's that Pikachu, and that Pikachu, wrecked shop when he was here last time, and kind of like giving us that explanation of that, hey, this Pikachu is the shit, but he doesn't even know it, right? And so like it touches on kind of where I wanted the movie to go, but never long enough to where I'm like, yeah, I got that shit. This is great. So I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that's all I really have to say about this at the end of the day, though. I mean, the spotlight is the Pokemon. The story is decent enough, and like I said, it has grown on me. Most of the time you watch a movie, the subsequent viewings, if it's not good, you start to hate it more, and I start to like this more. So
right. No, and I think I mean, we always say that when we both enjoy a movie, there's not much to talk about, but I will start it off. I'm going to recommend this one just simply because I think it's going to be our lone standout in this month, and I think it's good enough that it captures everything. If you're a Pokemon fan, I think it captures a lot of what you're after. It kind of it's very seamless with how it blends Pokemon and live action, and I do think that if they were to make another one, it would be like, this is a very good foundation in not even a franchise, but just kind of a Pokemon world. Like, you could build, like, if I don't know how much money this movie made, but what it cost to make this movie, but like, there's a good foundation.
150 million, which is a hell of a budget. In the U.S., it grossed 144 million. Worldwide, 450 million.
Okay, so it made its money.
Yeah.
Worldwide it made its money. So like, I don't know if like maybe Warner Brothers is just like, I don't, we
Maybe
don't
that's why it looks so good, because the CG is some of the best around, and like there aren't a lot of seams here.
Yeah, I think the only
That's where the budget went, I guess. But you can tell because it looks great.
well, I mean the budget went to probably Ryan Reynolds and Bill Nye, but and the CG, but like
I can't imagine Ryan Reynolds made more than 10 million on this.
I would be shocked if he did not.
Okay.
I don't know if you can look that up real quick, but
Nope. That's too much work.
All right, what about you?
Yeah, I am going to recommend it, but it's just like for a video game movie, it's pretty damn great. I would even say it's the second best video game movie I've seen. I know a lot of people really like Super Mario Brothers. I don't know how strong of a movie that really is.
Yeah.
And my personal favorite is Mortal Kombat. So it's right in there. We still don't have like a top tier superhero movie, or not superhero, video game movie that I would say is like objectively great, But
Right. Well, I mean,
it's pretty good. I think most people would be happy watching it, especially Pokemon fans.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have a good time with this film, regardless if you're a Pokemon fan. I think because it's not dull, and there is enough here for non-Pokemon fans to just be like, okay, I don't know who the fuck that was, but that shit looked cool. Like the Greninja things.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck those are. But
Greninjas, you said it's right. They're
right.
Greninjas.
Yeah, but like, I don't even remember them from the games.
Because you probably stopped playing around then.
Maybe
they came in on X and Y, which is the first ones on the 3DS.
Cool. You just said a bunch of shit that I have no idea. But at the same time, like they look cool, and so I'm like, those Pokemon are kind of dope. And then like the speaker for ears things or whatever those are. The way that they were used in this movie was cool. I just think like there is a really good foundation for a whole array of different things. And if this is the lone movie that we get with this kind of seamless live action CG Pokemon, I think it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, I don't know in the States if it really made enough for them to want to drop another 150 million on it.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a lot of fucking money. For a very well established IP.
I think it is a lot of money for a that's Marvel level budget.
I mean, that's mid-tier Marvel budget, but yes, I agree.
Well, I mean, when an Ant-Man movie comes out.
Yes, correct. I agree. I think that's a Shang-Chi budget, right?
Yeah.
That's Marvel dipping its toes in the water with a new character budget, which is wild to say because like $150 million is a shit ton of like you could make a really good fucking film with $150 million. And I think they did. I think they made a good movie here. It's kind of crazy that we're going to be going into 2025 and there hasn't been a peep about, any other types of Pokemon movies. So 6 years. Yeah. So we might be talking about a one-off.
I think so. I don't know that we'll see another one. I think we'll see another Pokemon movie, but I don't know if it would be in this vein.
Right.
So.
Right. Anyways, what are we watching next week?
Next week, we're going to watch one that's sure to get our seal of approval. Right?
Sure.
We're watching 2008 Max Payne. This is a not rated R, unfortunately. It's PG-13 starring Mark Wahlberg. Man, it's not.
Shit.
I just saw that. I'm a little worried about that. I'm a lot worried about that. It actually makes me. Should we watch Hitman instead?
No, because I don't think that was rated R either.
Let's see.
The silence is killing me.
Is it Agent 47 Hitman? There we go.
It's
rated R.
no. We got to.
No.
We got to.
Okay,
we
so
got to
we're
stick. We got to
yeah,
stick with
yeah.
Max Payne.
That's I fucked up, but I no longer have the confidence I once had. Being that it's based off of Max Payne, which is a rated M game,
Right.
the movie should be fucking rated R.
Huh.
Anyway, it's got Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, Bo Bridges, and Ludacris, as well as Chris O'Donnell. So we're gonna watch that next week. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine.
Look forward to that.
Everything's fine.
This was a great idea for us to do video game movies.
Listen.
And definitely the last movie we watched this month is also going to be great. It's totally not bombing horribly in the reviews. So, woo.
We're gonna pay actual money to go see it.
I'm sneaking in. I ain't paying shit.
I'll distract the person with the scanner thing, and you just walk in with a bucket of popcorn like over your face. Anyways,
Okay. I think Buckethead would get noticed.
maybe you don't know.
I don't.
You don't know. I know. Trust me. We can do it. We can do it. What else we can do is tell you to hit the subscribe button when it pops up, so you don't miss any future content right here on the podcast if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe across all the social media platforms. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, and subscribe. And if you want to follow Jeff on Twitter and tell him that, hey, man, you don't need to sneak in. You can just work at a movie theater. You can find him at Podcast by Jeff.
I could do that. And if you want to get in touch with Mark and wonder why he has so many pictures of the Pokemon with the huge tongue in his house, you can find him on Twitter at I Heard You Liked.
Bro, the scene where Lickitung like sticks its tongue in Justice Smith's mouth, and Justice Smith is just like, hey, I'm good with it. Fucking weird. Just fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't like if I'm on a train and this wild ass Pokemon comes up to me and tries to stick its tongue in my mouth and I don't want it, that's not okay. Like,
I agree. You did not consent.
Anyway, Jeff, any last words?
None whatsoever. We'll see you next week.